Hello, lovely listeners. Um, I am getting ready to go up to Edinburgh for a few days solo, for some work stuff and feeling really excited. I was wondering whether to get the train like late tonight so I could see my son tonight and then go, or just like go in the afternoon. And that is what I'm doing. I'm recording this podcast for you guys, and then I have one call. And then I'm just gonna go enjoy my train ride, which if you've done a train with toddlers, like whenever, like I'm just so looking forward to. Listen, he's a great traveler. He loves trains. We love looking out the window, seeing all the animals. The English countryside is beautiful. And the train up to Edinburgh is really beautiful. We did it at Christmas. But there is something very chilled. I used to love being on airplanes, or any kind of travel. It's different now because we have Wi-Fi, but there's something that switches off for me internally and is able to deeply rest. And I'm going to be doing that today. And so it feels really luxurious. It's just so funny the things that feel um, luxurious when you have that quiet. It's like knowing that I don't need to plan, how often we're going to go to the toilet and where we're going to go and in the station and pick up the like. We do a train picnic whenever we go and making sure that we get there in time to get the train picnic and also in time in case there's a little paddy about the train picnic and I want this and I want that and whatever. It's like I just get to go at my own pace. So I'm feeling like I'm going on a five-star luxury holiday. Although obviously I love my son so much and it's so fun, it's also true because two things can be true at once. In fact, 20 things can be true at once. It's also true that it's nice to enjoy still doing things by yourself. Um, so I thought of you guys actually yesterday. I got a cold call. Love those. And it was someone who I must be on some list with having a coaching business, and they were selling services to coaching companies. And they asked me basic questions. I mean, often I will just say no. I don't know why I didn't, but maybe just because this conversation was meant to happen. But they said, "Oh, like what kind of coaching do you do?" And I said, "Time coaching." And they said, "Oh, like time management." And I could have just said yes, but I didn't. I said, "No, not time management, time coaching." And he said, "Oh, what do you mean?" And I said, "Well, I don't think time needs to be managed. It's a fixed known variable. Managing time is not going to create an extra hour in the day. It's just going to leave us managing this fixed thing that we can't do anything with. I think people and our brains need to be managed." And he was like, "Oh, interesting. Obviously, too much information." He was not interested really in my business. He was interested in selling to me. Um, but it was so funny because it made me think about how, firstly, I could speak about time management for years, but you might have heard me say that already on the podcast, just its limitations and the data and where we're at these days in terms of productivity and efficiency and time management tools and mental health and the exclusion of women, parents, neurodiversity, chronic illness, any creative, any job that didn't exist, 50 years ago. And I my view is time management is not only not the solution, it's adding further problems. Now, it's not to say certain parts of time management can't work for you, and whatever works for you, keep doing always, always, always. Um, but just it just showed me how, someone's selling to coaching industries day in and day out. That is their job, and they've not even considered time coaching in this way. It just like shows me again this huge opportunity that lays before us and this like huge work that we've got to do, because people need help with their time. Everywhere you look, people are too busy. I cannot drop my son off at school without a parent telling me about how busy they are, about the things that they're not getting done, about, wishing they had more time. I can't go to the doctor's office without hearing it in the waiting room. I cannot go for a walk in the park near me without hearing people. This conversation is everywhere. Time is the problem of our generation. And I think that, the time coaching opportunity is bigger than ever, not just because, hello, there's a huge problem, and not just because the solution isn't really the solution, it's adding an additional layer to the problem, but also because of our ability these days to remote work, to work for ourselves, to build businesses online. I think also, time and AI is a huge thing. We think that we're going to be more efficient with AI, when really what I see happening and what the data itself shows is that we're not much more efficient. We are just doing more. AI and the ability to automate things actually keeps us doing things where like the return is minimal because suddenly the cost is minimal. So we're doing things that aren't that great just because they're easy to do. A great example of this is someone who's like, oh, I created, I'm posting 5 times a day on social media with AI generated content. It's like, okay, but is that creating connection? Is that creating clients? Is that creating a community around what you want to create a community about? Because if so, it doesn't matter if you posted 50 times a day, if it's not reaching people, if it's not creating relationships with people, if it's not moving your goals forward, it doesn't matter how much more you can do the thing. It's like, it makes me think of like if I expect myself to be able to like jump up and down on a trampoline and make pizza. Like I can jump up and down for days, for weeks, for years. I can jump up and down 100,000 million, bazillion, however many times. I'm not going to get closer to making pizza. In fact, I'm getting further away from it. So just to share that with you, my interesting take on it. But also, one of the things that we've amassed over the last year is a massive wait list of, well, it was 512 people last time we launched, and this time we've been getting hundreds as well every week. So we've got a massive wait list of people who want to consider getting certified as a time coach. We have the free podcast, which we've heard is super helpful and really great. But also, I wanted to do something different and I wanted to do a live webinar and invite you guys to come and share your questions, but really for me to share what I've learned in terms of what it takes to become excellent and profitable as a time coach so that you can come along, hear that, and say, is that me? Am I capable of that? Is that what I want to do? Is that what I desire to do? Now I know the true buy-in. Am I in or not? Because I think so often, I could speak about the flexibility, the income, I mean, for me, it was always about I wanted to work with people and I wanted to do something that mattered. I wanted to leave the world better than I started it. And I also wanted to make good money. And I also realized that I didn't want to work 80-hour weeks. And now time freedom is probably my favorite thing about my job. But I could, all of those things. Or if you don't know those things, listen to the podcast interviews with our time coach grads. But I think on the other side, I really want to talk about the buy-in and what it takes and give you that information. Now, some of you might take that and go off and decide to apply it to a life coaching business. Some of you might take that and decide to apply it to your leadership role at your current job. It doesn't matter. What I want to do is give you the blueprint and help you with one of our decision-making frameworks because we are expert decision makers at Time Hackers and we have specific frameworks we teach to help people make fast decisions. So I'm going to give you that too. And we're going to hang out together live because I've also not done that for ages. So let's have some fun. I'll leave the link in the show notes. I do want to say that I've decided to charge $7 for this. I could have made it free. Would have been really easy to make it free. I've charged $7 on purpose because firstly, there's a lot of people that are going to get this that are interested. But my view is if you, and I say this with love, it might sound harsh, but I'm okay with that because to the right person, they'll be like, fair. I want you to be $7 committed to this. I want you to sign up and show up. I don't need to sign up, miss the call, miss the replay, mean to do it. Our next certification is starting super soon. And it's decision time. So I would rather have 10 people show up that are $7 committed, that actually show up, than 1,000 people sign up and not show up. So that is the decision behind it. I might eat my foot or whatever the saying is and be like, oh, no one's $7 committed. I don't think so. I know that there's those of you out there that are like, yeah, that's reasonable. If I really am interested in this and I really want to show up, then I'd rather pay the $7 because that's a tool for me to be like, okay, I'm a little bit invested. Let me just show up. So that's the why behind that. The link is going to be in the show notes. I cannot wait to hang out with you guys. It's going to be fun because I think so often work seems so serious and so heavy. And We have to pretend to be someone that we're not, and that is not what I teach or how I am. Um, so the big goal for me behind it is to come and have fun and connect with people and support people into a decision, whatever that may be, but really give them the information that I think the repetitive things that I've been saying to our time coaches that have just graduated, to our time coaches in the business mastermind, to our time coaches on the time team. I've just noticed the past month that there's a few repetitive themes that have come up, and I'm like, this is really gold. I think people could know this in advance and it would be really helpful. So that is the why behind it. I cannot wait to hang out with you and see you there. You can get to ask your questions too. It's just going to be fun, chilled. Come however you are, wherever you are, video on, video off, in pajamas, on a walk, with kids running around, with chaos, however you can. Come for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole thing. It's going to be an hour. Um, so yeah, invest 1 hour, invest $7, get a decision made that could change your life. Because just as a reminder, at one point in time, I sat exactly where you are, let alone every single coach that we've certified. But me personally, I sat exactly where you are and made one simple decision to become a coach. And that decision has led to so many wonderful things, but it's led me to be able to even speak to you right now. How fun is that? I did not know that that was going to be there. I did not know I was going to have a podcast. I didn't know I was going to be a time coach. I didn't know I was going to have hundreds of clients. I didn't know I was going to work a 15-hour week. I didn't know I was going to, make multiple six figures as fast as I did. I didn't know I was going to have total time flexibility, take all this stuff. So sharing that with you to just say at one point in time, I was super scared to listen to my desire to find out more about coaching too, but it was so worth it. All right, my loves, I will see you guys there. The link is in the show notes. Have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to hang out with you so soon.